What's up, everyone? Hope everyone's having a great Monday. We are here on Carnival Glory, and we're actually in our cabin right now. We're about to disembark from Port Canaveral and decided to try and connect to the Wi-Fi and not use my cellular service for this stream. So hopefully everything goes well. I'll try to walk around a little bit here. But we are staying in a balcony cabin, and show you what it looks like real quick. Let me flip the camera around for you. So balcony cabin on deck 6. Mom's taking a nap, or trying to take a nap. Not bad. I mean, this is an older ship. I have a ship tour, or I'm sorry, a cabin tour video that I'm gonna be posting here, hopefully tonight. It's already been done. Let's walk outside. See what's going on in Port Canaveral. Somebody's alarm is going off, is what's going on. They're pulling the lines off. So we are about to leave. Beautiful day here. Yesterday was a great day as well. Had some really nice weather. Very sunny, bright day. We're going to try to walk around a little bit and see if we can stay connected and not lose connection. So far, so good. Looks like the Wi-Fi connection's okay. Let's see, do they have back lines off yet? I can't see them from here. We're forward. Our cabin is on deck 6. We're all the way, almost all the way forward. We maybe have like 5 or 6 from the Jetty Park over here that you're seeing in the distance. And at the very end of our live stream, several sheriff's deputies showed up, and they were all running out on the pier. And come to find out, there was a boat accident. Boat. I don't know if they were trying to avoid Norwegian Prima as it was going out or what was happening, but it happened around the time Norwegian Prima was going out. And apparently, a boat in the dark must have been going pretty fast. It hit the jetties, and several people got badly injured. They had to airlift them out. So hopefully those folks are okay, and hopefully they recover. But I looked in the news later that night, and that's what happened. Nobody knew what was going on. I walked all the way to the end of the pier and tried to see if I could figure out what was going on. There was a helicopter flying around and the spotlight, and it looked like it was in the water, but apparently some of the boaters, when they hit the pier, I guess they got thrown from the boat, or I'm sorry, the pier, the jetty. It was opposite of the pier. They got thrown from the boat and ended up in the water. We're hoping and praying that everybody's okay there. It was kind of a surreal moment when the sheriff's department was flying up, and there were like 3 or 4 sheriff's deputies. We kept hearing sirens. I think here the boat ramp is where the ambulances came, so we could see the lights flashing in the distance. So right down below, this is the boat ramp. So I guess the victims were carried over here and loaded onto the ambulances right here at the boat ramp. Good look, Port Canaveral. So excited to finally be back on a cruise ship. Or to, even though this is a very short cruise, looking forward to visiting Nassau, Celebration Key. We wanted to do this for a while. We had a cruise planned earlier, and the key first opened. We had planned on visiting right after it opened, but things didn't work out, and we had to cancel that cruise. But we're back. It's been a little bit of a break for us, though. Not a good one, though. I'd rather be cruising. But we're going to walk out front, so I'm going to show you how close our cabin is to the bow, and there's an observation area out here. I like to book interior cabins that are close to this area on these ships that have the open bows on the front. And I mean, you get all the benefits of a balcony. It's not private, of course, but you have all the benefits of that. So let me flip the camera back around, and we're going to go inside, and hopefully we don't lose connection. My connection is not really good at all. I can see the bit rates, and it's not too good. Still waiting for our luggage. It looks like they are starting to deliver luggage to our area of the ship. Glory looks very similar to Freedom and Valor, which I both have sailed on. So we're just a few doors down from this observation area on the front of the ship. So, pro tip, if you're looking to save money but you want access to be able to go outside and look into your cabin on the Conquest class ships, and actually the Vista class and the Dream class also have this area. You know, certain decks, it's usually like decks like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere around the middle. We're just below the bridge. The bridge is like, we have 2 levels up from us. This is deck 6. The bridge is on deck 8. And that radar up there is like extremely noisy. Hopefully I'm not picking up the noise off of it. Good view of Jetty Park. We have a camping trip planned there in the spring, April of next year. And actually our campsite is very, very close to, as close as we could get to the pier and the area over here to the left. I believe these sites don't have electric. I wanted electric. I wanted a full site with electric and water. I believe most of those don't have electric. We do a lot of camping, so if you, we actually have a camping outdoors channel. If you're into that kind of stuff, follow us. Also, please, it's Adventures in the South, and our YouTube handle is @AdventuresInTheSouth. You can also visit our website, adventuresinthesouth.com. We're building a square drop camper, and we're going to be our first trip in that square drop that we're building is going to be to this campground right here. And on that channel we do like campground tours, and we do stuff like that related to camping. It's very young. It's a younger channel than our cruising channel, and yeah, the content kind of varies a little bit. Sounds like we're about to leave. I'm going to take you guys, I'm going to walk, well, I'm going to go to the elevators, and we're going to go all the way up. That way you can see the action on Lido. Pretty quiet out here with the exception of the the radar that's buzzing in the background. Looks like we are actually pushing off the dock right now. Down below us is like a crew area. We've seen several crew members down there like relaxing. Good for them. They deserve it. They work hard. There's some things I like about this ship. It reminds me, of course, it's a Conquest class. It's the same class as Freedom and Glory. But yeah, we are leaving, pushing off the dock. Once we get underway, I'll walk up to the. We'll go up the elevator. Hopefully, I don't lose connection in the elevator. We'll stay here. We'll stay put until we get, because we're in the first berth here. We're all the way in the front. I mean, Jetty Park is right there, so we're in the very first berth. And this berth last night, Vision of the Seas was docked here. See, we're pushing off the dock right now. It's good to be on a cruise ship again. There we go. What a great day, weather-wise, in Florida. It is a little bit hotter today than it was yesterday. Yesterday was a little bit cooler, but still a nice day. Not very many clouds in the sky, just a few very, very thin clouds, and not much of a cloud cover today. So we have, this is a short cruise, so we don't only have 2 ports, and we're only doing one excursion on this cruise. In Nassau, we're doing a walking food and history tour, I think is the best way to describe it. Looking forward to it. I've always wanted to do something like that in Nassau. I do enjoy the food there, and looking forward to trying out different things. There was a fire. I saw on the news, Doug Parker had posted it, that there was a fire at one of the popular restaurants. I hope that's not one of our stops. Yeah, unfortunately, there was a fire. Hopefully, everyone's okay and everyone recovers. But yeah, there was a fire there, and it looked like it was a pretty bad fire. It burned several buildings. So hopefully, we're not affected by that. We're not going to have to wait long to be out in the open ocean. We'll be out there really, really quick, since we're all the way in the front. I'll tell you, this embarkation was like the best I've experienced in Port Canaveral. We had a 10:30 or 10 to 10:30 boarding time, and we got here right at 10:30, and we were on the ship. Actually, we were a little early. I'm sorry, I said 10:30. We actually arrived right at 10, and we were on the ship by 11. It was like 5 till 11. We were already on the ship, so that's awesome. That's nice. We did have to sit and wait a little bit, but everything moved smooth, and we didn't have to wait long. The last time I did an early boarding time here in Canaveral was Carnival Freedom a couple of years ago, and we didn't get on. We got here around 10, and we didn't get on the ship until 12:30, and it was a really long wait. But this time it went a lot smoother. You can hear all the activities going on upstairs. We'll head up there and see what's going on once we get underway. I like sailing from this port. It's close. It's not a bad drive for me. I don't really want to like have to fly anywhere, so I really prefer driving. It saves a lot of money, and this port is very drivable for me. I'm in eastern North Carolina, so about a 7-hour drive for me. I'm in southeastern, right on the border. Sounds like a lively Sailaway party going on up there. The Lido deck was pretty busy, even early when we got here. So I think this is going to be a really good crowd here. Seems like a good crowd of people so far. The ones I've met. How y'all doing? Like I just ran into somebody that does YouTube as well. He was out here with some of the equipment that somebody that does YouTube would have. Nice view of Jetty Park there. That's going to be fun camping there. I can't wait. I'm going to be doing a lot of ship watching those 4 days that I'm camping there. It's going to be, I can't remember the exact dates. It's early April, so I'll do some live streams too. I plan to do a lot more live stream, and I'll do a couple of those. There's going to be a lot of ships coming in and out during that time. That was a lot of fun last night watching all the ships. I really enjoyed that. I got really lucky because it was busy. It was a Sunday, and there was a lot of vehicles parked down there, and somebody had just happened to pull out, and I was able to back in, and we sat on my tailgate, and then I moved down towards the rocks and had my tripod set up. But it was pretty cool. It was fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. This has got to be the best port to ship watch and ship spot from. Especially like if you want to come down and like hang out. A lot of people do that. You can see folks down there now. Let's zoom in. Yeah, that's a little bit better. There's a lot of people down there for a Monday. I'm streaming off of an iPhone 17 Pro Max, which is a really good streaming platform. I'm pretty happy with it. The camera on it's really good. I had I shot video last night off of it. It was dark, and it really had a good picture. We were parked right down, like one of the last cars, close to the anchor in that area. It was a good spot to watch from. So last night, right at the end of my stream, I was about to get off, and all of a sudden, I heard sirens, and they got closer and closer and closer. And if you watch the video from last night, in the last 10 minutes or so, there's like sheriff deputies flying up. They're all running down the pier. They're flashing their flashlights in the water. I thought somebody might have fallen off the pier. And it turned out that someone ran aground. They must have been going full speed. They hit the jetty over here on the left side. And it must have been pretty bad because several of them got airlifted. There was a lot of police boats out there, rescue boats. There was a helicopter flying above. It was so much going on. I really didn't realize what was happening at the moment. And, I didn't really video any of it except for the police coming up, which was kind of crazy because, you didn't know what was happening. There could have been somebody with a gun on the pier or something going on like that. We didn't know. I mean, the way they were acting, It could have been something like that. And I don't know. We heard that it was two boats collided. Someone that was here last night told us that. That was also ship watching. And turns out it was actually, and I'll walk over here so you can see it a little bit better. The boat actually struck the rocks over here on this side. We'll come over to the other side. This is forward on deck 6. That radar is super loud. Hopefully that's not, my mic's not picking that up. They struck the rocks over here. I don't know if we can see any evidence where they hit, but it was towards the end of the jetty. I'm not sure if they just miscalculated or what happened, but it was a bad situation, obviously. I mean, there was helicopters flying around, a lot of emergency vehicles. It looked like there was some that drove out here on the end of the jetty. I'm not sure how they drove out here. I guess there was a pathway they can drive on, but there were several parked right there. And it all was taking place right there on that point. Crazy thing going on last night. It's good that didn't happen like earlier. I'm sure it would have wreaked havoc on the port if it would have. I mean, they had most of the port blocked off, and the last ship had just gotten out before it happened. It must have happened right after Prima, cleared the jetty. And I don't know if Prima had something to do with it, if maybe they were trying to avoid, getting too close to Prima and struck the jetty down there. But it happened down in that area, right there. And we had no clue last night what was going on until we got back to our hotel and searched on the news what the deal was. Not sure what's going on here. Maybe they're dredging. I don't know. That's been out here for a while. It's been out here since we've been here. So I guess they could be possibly dredging. That's what it looks like. Maybe a dredge. Hopefully everyone that was involved in that accident was okay. Hopefully nobody got hurt. Sad to see stuff like that happen. I'm a boater myself, and we do a lot of saltwater stuff, and it's terrifying to think about. A closer look at that. It looks like a dredge. I believe that's what that is. Looks like it's anchored down. Yeah, that's definitely a dredge. So they're probably dredging the channel here. Yeah, you can see the bucket on the crane there. And then there's the dredge barge next to it where they probably dump all the material that they're pulling up. I'm sure that's a constant battle trying to maintain that. There's a few shrimp boats out here today. Let's take a closer look. Yeah, there we go. A few shrimp boats. There's a lot of boats out here, actually. Sailboats, some other pleasure boats, another shrimp boat, and some kind of tanker, or maybe that's another dredge barge. That's possibly what that is. That's what it looks like. All right, let's walk around. We're out of the jetty. Hopefully we don't lose connection. We're gonna head to the elevator, and we will go up to maybe deck 10. See what's going on. See how lively the Sailaway party is. flip the camera around here. So far, so good. Haven't lost connection yet. I'm very weary of doing these on the ship's Wi-Fi because lots of times the connection is not good and there's dead spots. So if I drop off, I do apologize in advance. Hi, how are y'all?
Pretty good.
Excuse me. Sorry. So we're still waiting our luggage. I mean, we just sailed away. It's only 3:30, so I'm gonna take the stairs. That way, I have less of a chance of losing connection, and I can use the exercise too. All right, we'll flip the camera back around so you're not looking at my mug. Deck 8. Deck 9, which is Lido. Hi, how are you doing? Deck 10. All right. Got me breathing hard. We'll head up to 11. Pretty lively. It's a good crowd up here.
I went to the legal day. You know,
We'll do one more. We'll do 12. A lot of people. It's a lively deck party. All right, we'll stop here. We're on 12, I believe. Freedom, you can see Freedom in the background. She's coming out. For Freedom. That ship cannot keep its funnel. I was supposed to sail on it the second time in July to Celebration Key, the cruise I was talking about that I had canceled. And I don't know, that ship must be cursed. It's just, it's not meant to have a whale tail on it. Pretty sad. I don't know, maybe they need to think about retiring that thing. There's a really good spot, like right above, where you can watch everything from. I was already walking the ship. As soon as I got on, I was like, started shooting video from a ship tour of this ship. And took advantage while there was nobody on it. 11 o'clock, there's hardly anybody around, but now it's like super crowded. At least this ship has like the nicer water slides. Valor, when we got on it, it had a tiny little single slide, but they upgraded it. I haven't seen it since they upgraded it. So supposedly it's got a lot better water slide now. It's a good crowd, a lively crowd. A lot of nice people here. I've run into a lot of nice folks. You don't always get that on the shorter cruises, but I was pleasantly surprised. This is the shortest cruise I've ever done. It's 4 nights, so far it's proving the stereotype wrong as far as like short cruises being bad. I've run into a lot of really, really nice, courteous people on this cruise, and that's good. That's really good. Most people are really nice on cruises. You know that it's very rare to run across somebody that's like rude and not a nice person. You don't get many of those. Maybe I'm just lucky, but I haven't really. Let's see if we can zoom in on Freedom behind us. She's following us out. There's a Disney ship. Wonder of the Seas is in port. There we go. Carnival Freedom. So Freedom's moving to Norfolk, and nobody knows what's going to happen with Sunshine. Sunshine has not been, there's been no itineraries announced, I think, for 2027. My guess is they're probably going to scrap that ship. That ship is really old. It's one of the oldest in the fleet. It's not a bad ship. I've sailed on it before. And they've spent a lot of money in it, keeping it up. And it's not a bad ship at all. I was actually really surprised how much they have done to that ship. And I had a better experience than I thought I was going to have. But it is getting tired. It's an old ship. And my guess is they're going to scrap it. If I had to guess, that's what's going to happen with Sunshine. Yeah, I hate to see them scrap any of them. I'm really surprised that the 2 Fantasy class ships are still around. If they make it into 2028, I'll be surprised. That'll be amazing. All right, let's zoom back out. Oh, that's me. But yeah, like I was saying, if those 2 ships survive in the next couple of years, it'll be surprising. They've already announced the itineraries, I think, for Elation, I believe. I'm not sure about Paradise. Paradise, I've sailed on both of those, and out of the 2, Elation's in a lot better shape. Paradise is my least favorite ship. When I complete all of my sailings through February of next year, my last one will be Celebration. I'm going to rank all of them, and I think that'll be 15 out of all the ships that I've sailed on. I'm going to rank them from 1 to 15, and unless something dramatic happens between now and then, Paradise is probably going to be number 15. I don't know. I just, that whole experience was like not good. Yeah, I'm not a complainer, but it was just, we made the best of it. We didn't. And what do you do on a cruise? A bad cruise is even a good cruise. Even if you're having a bad time, you can make the best of it. We still had fun. We enjoyed it, but it's funny. I sometimes get comments that folks say I'm not very critical, and I try to be. I look at things from the point of somebody that's worked in hospitality for most of their life, which is what I've done, and I try to look at it from that perspective and the things that really do matter. And I mean, you can nitpick anything, but yeah, there's things you can overlook, and there's things happen. Nothing's perfect. Yeah, I think a lot of what matters is how a business or a company recovers when there is things that go wrong. Let's put the camera back around and see what's going on Lido. Man, it's a big crowd here. That's good. I like seeing people have a good time. Water slides are getting used, for the Mac. Entrance is right above us, right up here. The Serenity on the ship is not really that great. It's, yeah, it's typical for a conquest class ship. I'll show it to you here once these people go by. It's not exactly the same as what Valor and Freedom had. So, it is what it is. I would say, I think Magic had one of my most favorite Serenity areas. Those two. Sorry, looks like we lost connection there. But yeah, Venezia and Magic, I think, out of all the ships I've sailed on so far, Carnival's had the best Serenity areas. Both those ships had really good outdoor space. Although Venezia it seemed a lot smaller for a Vista style ship, because it just seemed more broken up, I guess. But Serenity was awesome on that ship. I'll try to spend some time on Serenity on this cruise since I don't have any kids with me. If I have enough time to get up there, it's going to be kind of hard. Yeah, we're going to be off the ship in 4 days, so yeah, it's really only 3 full days. I don't know what possessed me to book a 4-day cruise, but I did. I think I got some kind of special deal from them, if I remember. And I'm trying to get on all of them if I can. But let's walk upstairs. Let's go up one level. So I guess this is deck 14. Yeah, the ships do not have a deck 13. This is the top level of Serenity, so it is 2 decks, and for the size of the ship, it's not bad. I mean, it is, it's not small. At least it's 2 decks worth. I hope my windsock on my mic is working right now. Another look at Lido. I'm not going to make this stream very long. I'm going to cut it short, probably 45 minutes max. We're already at 38. But this is a really good vantage spot if you want to watch what's going on the ship. Like deck 14, this is high, well, pretty much as high as you can go. At least as high as you can go as a guest. Look at the Space Coast here in Florida. We visited Kennedy Space Center on Sunday and checked out the new gantry LC-39. That was cool. That was a lot of fun. And I will be putting out a video showing everyone what's new there. If you haven't visited the Space Center in a while, it's definitely worth doing. I would recommend going there. It's a great pre or post cruise excursion. So if you have the time, I would check it out. It's really fun. A lot of new stuff there. In the last 2 or 3 years, they've added a lot of things on to Kennedy Space Center. A lot of people around. The crowd's starting to thin out a little bit. Now this ship does have a smaller pool down there. I've gotten in a cruise ship pool once, and I'll probably never do it again. Let's zoom in, see the crowds. The pool's pretty busy. A lot of kids, of course. That's typical for this type of ship. There is a nice pool on the aft of the ship that actually can close. Let's zoom back out. And it can close in bad weather. That's nice. It's nice that these ships have that. So our next cruise is going to be, we're actually doing Royal Caribbean next. It's going to be Enchantment of the Seas, a very small ship, one of Royal Caribbean's smallest. It's going to be interesting to see what the experience is like. I was really, I did my first Royal Caribbean cruise last year, and I was really impressed with the experience. The dining especially was pretty good, especially the free dining. You know, I would say Royal Caribbean has much better free dining than Carnival. But, you know, on the flip side, we tried a lot of their premium dining also, and I would say that Carnival's premium dining is better. So, you know, it's give and take. Yeah, and the service levels are about the same. You know, I haven't sailed enough on the Royal Caribbean to like judge how they are overall service level wise, but you know, I would definitely say that they're comparable. You know, there's a lot of similarities between the two. I think the ships, you know, are a little bit better kept with Royal Caribbean from what I've seen. And, you know, I'm not basing that on only a limited amount of experience sailing with them, but from what I've heard from other people and videos I've watched and just knowing their reputation for that, they do a little bit better job, especially on their older ships. But Enchantment was one of those ships they expanded. They like cut the ship down the middle and added like 100 feet. And that's pretty interesting that they can do that with a cruise ship. That's kind of crazy, actually. So we're right here above the water slides. This is the entrance to the water slides, actually. So looking forward, even though this is a little short 4-day, you know, looking forward to going back to Nassau again. I sometimes talk down a little bit about Nassau, but it's not really that bad. There's some fun stuff to do there. You know, you just kind of have to have an open mind when you visit there and be willing to try different things. There's a lot of low-cost stuff you can do in Nassau. You don't really have to book an excursion. There's lots of places you can go that are real cheap, or you can just take a taxi to. And a lot of beaches there that are great. Yeah, most of the time we'll do it, organized excursion there. Our last visit there on Venezia, we did Pearl Island, and I really liked Pearl Island. I had heard a lot of negatives about it, and I liked it better than Blue Lagoon. It was a good experience for us, but you know, everybody has their own opinion on things. Yeah, and I respect that. You know, that's why, you know, we're all different. We all have different values when it comes to what's important to us. But it's good to hear other people's opinions on, you know, how they feel about quality of things and the experience. Well, we're approaching 44 minutes here, so I'm going to cut this off here right at 45. I don't want to run this really long. I did that yesterday, almost 2 hours yesterday, but it was still fun doing the live stream there. So the only thing, you know, so far I was looking at the fun times, and I noticed that they only have really one playlist production show. I haven't really walked around the ship much yet, except for the outside decks. But I'm really eager to check out the casino. I'm going to be playing in there some. We're going to bring you, of course, a casino tour. We'll make sure we film every single machine. Yeah, I've had people tell me that my casino tour was too long. Well, the purpose of my casino tours is so you can see every single machine and table game that is in the casino. So yeah, they run 10, 11, 12 minutes long. But that's why I do them, because I like to see that. You know, I watch other people's videos, and there's not a lot of good casino tours out there for somebody that's looking at what is on the ship, what games are available on the ship. And so I try to make mine be the type of tour that I'd want to see, you know. I try. But I just recently started doing reviews too, and I'm going to review my time in the casino on this ship. I'm not going to play a lot. I only have 4 days, so I don't have a lot of time to play there. But I will play some. I got a small bankroll, and we'll play a little bit. I'm only going to be able to play. I don't even know if the casino will be open in the morning tomorrow. I might try to go tonight. If I'm, you know, I haven't got a lot of sleep the last couple of days, so hoping to make it an early night, but we'll see. Maybe I get up and take a nap and get up and play a little later tonight. I haven't even walked through it yet, but be on the lookout for that. We're going to have a full casino tour. We're also going to have a review. We're going to talk about our play experience here on this ship. Might even sneak in a little bit of, if we can get in there early in the morning while it's still open, some of our play. We won't film in the casino unless we're, there's nobody around. I don't like doing any video in the casino with other people around. So that means going at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Those are the best times to go, really. Cup of coffee, get the machine of your choice, no waiting, no smoke. If you're not a smoker, it's great, and you can move around as much as you want. But it's also fun going when the casino's full of people and it's lively. I've played both, All right, guys. Well, hope you enjoyed this this live broadcast from Carnival Glory. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. I'm gonna flip the camera around. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. And make sure you're subscribed to our channel for all the content that we'll be putting out. We got a lot of cruises booked over the next three or 4 months. So we're going to be putting out tons and tons and tons of content. Lots of videos, lots of ship tours, lots of dining reviews, and we're going to give you our thoughts of MSC, which we're going to be sailing on soon. We're going to do part 2 of the Royal Caribbean Casino Challenge. Yeah, we're doing a part 2 to that video, so that's going to be fun. We're going to try to make it to Prime. That's our goal, and Prime the bus, basically. That's going to be fun though. So subscribe if you want to see all that, and hope y'all have a great week. We'll catch up with you later. Happy sailing.